Alright, how's it going, class? This is so sad. It's our last volume video. Terrible. Alright, anyway. The goal for you guys is for you to be able to find the volume of a sphere. Alright, which, a sphere, it's just a ball. Okay? So, here's the formula you're going to use to find the volume, or how much space that ball or that sphere takes up. Alright? The only thing you need to know to find the volume of a sphere is the radius. Alright? So, our formula is V volume equals 4/3 times pi times the radius cubed. Alright? So put a star next to this and write this down. Cubed means you are multiplying the radius by itself 3 times. So write that down. Cubed means you are multiplying the radius by itself 3 times. So if the radius is 2, 2 times 2 times 2. If the radius is 8, 8 times 8 times 8. Alright? Next slide. Alright, so I've got some problems worked out for you to see, how it's going to look when you solve for the volume of these spheres. So I've got one sphere over here. Alright, right now its diameter is 4 meters, but you need to know what the radius is, right? And since the radius is half of the diameter, our radius is going to be 2. So, pi becomes 3.14, r becomes 2. So, you have to do 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. So that becomes 8. When you multiply 3.14 times 8, you get 25.12. And then when you multiply 4/3 by 25.12, you get 33.49, and actually rounded that to the nearest hundredth. 33.49 cubic meters. Alright, so that's how many cubic meters, cubes that are 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter, can fit inside that sphere. Alright, next. Now I've got a sphere or ball with a radius of 3 inches. Alright, so got my formula. 4/3 times pi times the radius cubed. Well, r is 3. So I have to do 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Times 3 is 27. So r becomes 27. I multiply that by 3.14 and I get 84.78. And then when I multiply 4/3 by 84.78, I get 113.04. Alright. Now, you know what? Write this down. Put a star next to this. 4/3 equals 1.3 repeating. Alright, so if you want to try and figure out how to multiply 4/3 by this value, okay, you can multiply this by 1.3 repeating. Alright, 1.333333333 forever and ever. I could say 3 until the day I die, and I still wouldn't have finished saying that value. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Alright, so when we multiply 4/3 by 84.78, we end up getting 113.04 cubic inches. Last slide. This is when you're going to try and solve these problems. Okay. Now, I want you to round your answers to the nearest hundredths place. This is what we got. We got a sphere over here with a radius of 4 millimeters. But right here, I've got half a sphere. Okay? So this is our formula to find the volume of an entire sphere. So I think you'll be able to figure out what you have to do once you find the volume of a whole sphere to find out what the volume of this half sphere is. Okay? So give these a shot. Pause the video, and I'll be right back. Alright. This is what you should have gotten. So over here I've got volume, V, equals 4/3 times 3.14 times the radius, which is 4 cubed. Alright, 4 cubed, that's 4 times 4, which is 16, times 4, which is 64. So, V equals 4/3 times 3.14 times 64. Now when I multiply 64 by 3.14, times 64, I'm going to get 200.96. And then when I find out what 4/3 of that value is, I'm going to get 267. .95, and I rounded that, millimeters cubed. So that's what you should have gotten for the volume of that sphere right there. Now, this one right here. Alright, so here's my formula. The diameter is 12 yards. That means the radius has got to be 6. So V equals 4/3 times pi, which is 3.14, times 6 cubed. Remember, it's not 6 times 3, it's 6 times itself 3 times. Okay? So I'm going to do 6 cubed. 6 times 6 is 36. And 36 times 6 is 216. Now I got to multiply 216 by 3.14. Alright? When you do that, you're going to get 678. .24. Now, I have to multiply 678.24 times 4/3. Okay, so when you do that, you're going to get, let's see, V equals 904.32 yards cubed. But this isn't an entire sphere. It's only half a sphere. So you know what? That's not our answer. I got anything to erase with? No, I got nothing. Just use my finger. So you know what? That's not our answer. I gotta divide this by 2 because it's only half a sphere. So I'm going to do divided by 2. And when you do that, you get your final answer, which is going to be 452.16 cubic yards. Alright, that's it. That's what you should have done to solve for the area, sorry, not area, the volume of that half sphere. Alright, so be prepared to work on some problems like this in class. The last day we're going to spend on volume. I know you're all extremely disappointed. Alright, but this is going to be it. Alright, so I hope you're having a great night. See you all soon.